Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur, like the Kaaba of the heavens, right? The Kaaba of the heavens. Then he said after that, the Salah, Allah Azza wa Jalla ordered for 50 Salah. Then, the story of him, between him and going back to Musa alayhi salam and going back to Allah, till they became 5. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, أمضيت فريضتي وخففت عن عبادي. You're going to get rewarded for 50 every time you pray 5. So, it make it easy for you for performance, but the same reward, no decrease. What does that tell us? That the 50 was originally for more reward, right? So don't think it is for more duty, for more load, and we have easy load. Oh, alhamdulillah, thank you, Allah, thank you. It's not like that, right? Yes, you thank Allah, but the whole point, 50, to get rewarded for what you actually did, right? But the takhfif came on what you do, but Allah did not take from 50. Said, now I decrease them to 5, so you are only rewarded for 5. Fair, right? Right? So I want you to do 50. Now you're doing 40, so you get rewarded for 40. You do 5, you get rewarded for 5. But Allah said, no, you do 5, but you get rewarded as if you did what? 50. Al-hasanatu bi'ashri amthaliha. So 10 times more, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Isha is still 9:15, right? Oh, 20. Almost, inshallah. So, Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj was exactly 1 year before the migration of Rasulullah to Medina. Was exactly 1 year for the migration of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Medina. When Rasulullah came, he did not waste time. He just told these people, last night I was in Al-Isra, I went to Jerusalem, and they laughed. He said, now we got him. Now we got you. That's a big one, right? You can say Quran, you can say whatever you want, fine. But this one now, that's big. And they ran to Abu Bakr and said, Ta'ala, Abu Bakr, listen to what your friend says. So what did he say? He said that he went to Jerusalem and heaven. They don't worry much about heaven, right? This is, let's focus on the small one, right? That's actually still big one. So we went to Jerusalem, we traveled 1 month. Going 1 month, coming with strong, good camels and everything. He said that he went and came back. Abu Bakr ta'ala. Abu Bakr asked one question. Did he say so? Yes, he said, okay, then he done. How come you say that? He said, come on, I believe that Allah sent him messenger every day, right? To talk to him. Why should I not believe him in that trip beyond human being? Yeah, whatever he says. That's why he called Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Because his point now is, I want to make sure, did Rasulullah say it or not? And that's a lesson for all of us. When somebody tells you a hadith, he said, is this authentic hadith? Yes, khalas. That's what you need. Don't worry much about it. Makes sense? Doesn't make sense? Like that, right? So this is a problem. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said, he did. He said, done. Whatever he says is done, I believe. So they actually, it gave more leverage to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said, what's the proof then? We went to Masjid al-Aqsa. Ta'al, this guy. They know Masjid al-Aqsa like the back of their hand. Describe Ya Muhammad. And that could have been the final hit. Why? Because even if you are truthful, you don't look at those things. How many times you came to Masjid Champion? How many doors in Masjid Champion? Yalla. Tell me. How many, without looking, how many panels in that mirror side? How many times did you look at that mirror side, my brothers and sisters? How many times you look at that mirror side? How many panels are there? Now we're going to count. Salih is counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 panels. And then you know how many panels up. You see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody, if you say, I go to Masjid Champion every day, and I ask you that question, and you don't say it, does that mean you're lying? You don't go to Masjid Champion? You do. But who take care of those details? How many times did you count the stair steps at your home? Your home, your own home. Your own home, how many ones? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the big one, stair. How far? Can you? How many flights of? Those are the things. So when they ask him, that shows you the challenge of the kuffar, right? Even though it's not the question to ask. Someone told you, I went one night, I came back. Focus on how did he go on one night and came back, not the details of there, Because nobody sees. Yet, Rasul said, it was raised to me as if I'm looking like a 3D model in front of him. You know, now they're talking about holograms, right? Yeah, it's like that. Amazing, you know. So when inshallah they invented that, we said, our Prophet saw it already. You know, this hologram thing was 1400 years ago already, right? So now it comes from the screen, you put it like this, and you start doing like that. You know, they see this. And then, you know, push it like that, it goes back to the screen. That's the technology coming out. So Rasul said, "Rufi'a ilayya," as if I'm looking at it. And we understand now because of this technology. And then he starts saying, there is a window on that side, there is a door on that side, and there is a street coming from here. And he described them fully. Many of them actually, they understood that details by many visits, right? Yet they did not, subhanallah, they did not believe. And then Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam described to his Sahaba, the prophets of Allah. Then, you know, Amr ibn Hisham, Abu Jahl yani, he said, well, describe for us Musa and Isa. Another challenge, right? So he described Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. He told him he's medium, and he is not tall, he is not, short, and his chest is wide. He has a wide chest, and, you know, can see the blood in his face, you know, and is healthy, yani. And then he said the most similar person to him, look, Urwa ibn Mas'ud, al-Thaqafi. Urwa ibn Mas'ud, who became later a Muslim, right? From At-Ta'if. He said this is the closest one to him. And he said Musa alayhi salam is a strong man, big, tall, you know, muscular. And he said he is like one of the tribe of Shanu'a of Al-Yaman. They are known that they are giants, right? He said Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was like that. And he said he was serious, stern looking. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And he said, Ibrahim, wallahi, nobody is more similar in look to him than myself. And you want to see Ibrahim alayhi salam, you look at your brother here. So he described all of them, and he described all of that. And then he told them, by the way, when I'm coming, there is a caravan. That's how far it is. It is going to come in 3 days. And they lost something. And then, you know, I called. And I told them, this is the camel lost. They went and they found it, but they could not see me. They came later and they said, we heard a voice, right? Telling us your camel is behind that, you know, and they went. All of this, what they said at the end, you know what? That's what magicians do. You're a magician. Easy route to deny anybody who does good stuff, right? You say, you know what? This is out of this world, but you have superpowers. You're a magician. Because this is the way to get out of the responsibility, right? When somebody does something, say, you know what, you have some powers, but this is no good. And that's what they did. So from this, we learn, inshallah, a few things quickly before Salat al-Isha. After every mihna, there is a minha. Remember that. It's the same word, but, you know, the words, the letters are in different order. Minha. Say it. Mihna. Mihna, the ha comes first. Mih, mim and ha, that means hardship. Mim and noon means easy. Means easy. Right? So mihna, hardship. Minha is the gift. So the first lesson is, with every mihna, inshallah will come a minha from Rabbul Alameen. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ, remember that. So all of this happened to Rasulullah sallallahu after the death of his uncle, Khadija radiallahu anha, all of that. Minha of the jinn, minha of Addas, minha of al-Isra wal-Mi'raj come to Rasulullah sallallahu Rasul sallallahu also was coming to a new phase, a new stage. He has to prepare for it in a certain way out of this world. So now anything happening in this world becomes very tiny and small, right? When you're exposed to all of this, you see how big is the message, how big is this world, how powerful is Allah, that, you know, anything happens now is no problem. So this is also was very important, and that's why we send our children to training camps. The training camp, it's harsh, right? It is very hard. They are not going to go through this every day. So anything happens every day, lesser becomes easier. When you are exposed to more hardship, what happens? Hard things become easy. Because you're already exposed to a big one. For a shorter time, longer time, you can deal with above normal. Now you go to another camp higher than above normal. That's why the people who are leaders, they can take what normal people cannot take. Also showing how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not scared. every time he's exposed to something that they will deny even more, he will still go and face them. Sometimes we do the opposite. Become scared more. Oh, this one they cannot take, I'm not going to do, right? No. Also, we learn about the iman of Siddiq Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. We learn also how the Prophet ﷺ is Khatamul Anbiya by leading the Prophets. Deen of Islam covers everything. Association between Masjid al-Haram, Masjid al-Aqsa, and its necessity for the Muslims. The Salah and its status and value. How the Sahaba of Rasulullah ﷺ believed. How the punishment of many things like Rasulullah saw. The punishment of those who eat the money of the yatim, those who commit the zina, those who do all of those things. There were major sins there. So inshallah, this brings us to the end of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. There is a shorter part here. Inshallah, maybe next week we'll do it. Before the migration of Medina, Rasulullah ﷺ offering his message to be hosted to tribes. And the only one accepted is Al-Ansar of Al-Medina. So we'll talk about this inshallah next week. And this brings us to the end of the Makki period inshallah Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu wa sallam wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.